Hey, summon it. Summon the week 5. It's already started. There's games on. I mean, it starts Thursday night every night. We got basically a fucking Thursday night game going on right now. I mean, the New York Jets, shameful. The Atlanta Falcons found out that they were going to the UK and figured, hey, let's try and utilize as much as we can. Not 1, not 2, but 3 tight ends. The tightest of ends are going on right now in Atlanta, running all over the field. Hey, morning football is fantastic. You love to see it. Oh, it's fumble recovery. I got the game on the other screen. We got people live right now. We are ready to rock and roll. This slate is very, very interesting. It's very interesting. Good morning, Matt. I see everybody up in the chat. Yo, what's good, Nick? How you doing? The over on Zach Wilson isn't looking so good. The over on Zach Wilson could not be any better right now. You're looking at Zach Wilson having to throw the ball 35 more times this game. If Zach Wilson cannot score 15 fantasy points, including rushing and touchdowns, in the next 3 quarters, when having to throw 35 times in the next 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters, we got more issues. But Keelan Cole's good. Kyle Pitts is good. And when Zach Wilson in this garbage time starts to pile up, you'll get your Michael Carter checkdowns, Andy Jameson Crowder, and we'll turn 500 into 20,000 or whatever that 500 into 10,000, which is the bet that we have right now on Prize Picks. Are you playing Cook today? I currently have 0% Cook, but how y'all doing? We're here. We're back. I think I found the greatest shirt that can possibly be found. If I could make a shirt from my fingertips, drop me in Fort Lauderdale. Drop me in Miami. Miami's overrated as fuck. Get the fuck out of Miami. Overrated as fuck. Fort Lauderdale, basically just nicer, cleaner, as fun as Miami. Drop me there with this shirt on, and just let me do one of these. Just let me look around, hit it with the quagmire, but not the creepiness. Just the neck move on the quagmire, not the queakiness. The queakiness. Ooh, and we're ready to roll. Another banging shirt. Too kind. Good morning from SoCal, Jerry. Hey, SoCal, up early. I like to see it. How you doing? Hey, I'm doing well. I had 1 or 2 people comment. I think it was the same dude from 2 different accounts. He was asking me why I'm faking an Italian New York accent. And I said, check the fucking birth certificate. Brooklyn, New York, Staten Island, New York, wherever you want to. I don't know. I mean, if I was faking it, I'd probably be a lot better at it. I haven't had an accent in a little while. You better start giving Patterson some love. Glad I didn't start him last week. Yeah, I have no interest in Cordell Patterson. Somebody asked me where would I draft him if you got the draft right now, the 5th or 6th round. I wouldn't draft him personally. He'd be an awful draft pick, but no sooner than the 5th or 6th round. I don't have any interest in Cordell Patterson. He's on one of the worst offenses. He's a gadget player who plays 40% of the snaps, right? When he's not scoring touchdowns, I don't care if he has 60 total yards and 3 catches and 9 fantasy points for you. Like, he's going to get these 60 to 70 yards because they don't have much offense when their top 2 wide receivers are still out today, right? But if he's not scoring touchdowns, who cares? Big day for Chubb for me. Hey, big day for your Chubb. Uh-oh. Let's get it, boys. Kyle Pitts, welcome to the NFL. Yeah, Kyle Pitts just turned 21 literally 3 or 4 days ago on Wednesday. So 4 days ago. Insane. Let's do it. Let's get it. This is a very interesting slate. The quarterbacks on this slate, for the most part, are all stinky. They're all smelly. In real life, there are a lot of good ones, but there's some interesting fucking leverage plays today. I'm looking at you, Minnesota. Highest team total on the slate. Kirk Cousins getting like 5% ownership, or that one dude this week, in a matchup against Detroit's secondary. Have you seen Detroit's defense in general? Their secondary is the worst secondary in the league. Like, I know we can say the worst secondary in the league about a lot of secondaries, the Kansas City Chiefs, all this, but if we're just talking about pure talent, you're talking about actual talent. Like, they trade away Quadre Diggs a year ago. They lose Jeffrey Okudah, who was stinking anyways. Like, this is a bad secondary. Stuff a cannoli in that guy's mouth for saying you're not Italian. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck, guy? Holy shit. That shirt today is 10 out of 10 smacks. Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite shirt I found. When I bought this shirt on Monday, I told myself I am not wearing this until the Sunday live stream. I have waited. I've had to compress myself for basically a week, a whole fucking week, to wear this shirt. So now we're here, and we're feeling good. We're glowing right now. We're glowing. Thoughts on Fournette if Bernard plays? I don't care about Giovanni Bernard. He's going to play in some 2-minute drills. That does hurt Fournette. We can't just be ignorant and say that. Like, I'll pull up Fournette right now. Leonard Fournette is tied for my highest on running back exposure in 150s. He's definitely on a short list to make my single entry lineup at the running back position. He's just too cheap. Ronald Jones is clearly not a part of this offense. He is just too cheap. Giovanni Bernard is not a part of this offense when they're leading. That's what we see. And I'm not expecting them to trail in this game. It could be a tougher matchup than people expect against the former coach of Mr. Tom Brady, who usually play him hard, especially in this matchup versus Miami over the past couple of years. Greetings from Tennessee. I love your content. I appreciate you. Wake up early to watch the Jets suck and a new team. Yeah, you need a new team. I mean, look. It's not good out there in the streets if you're a Jets fan. I couldn't imagine being a Jets fan. I actually feel very, very bad for you that Mark Sanchez is probably the best quarterback you will ever see in your lifetime, which is just brutal. Sutton or Myers today? Sutton is going to have the higher upside and ceiling, so give me Sutton. Like, if we're talking about for GPP purposes, Sutton or Myers. If you're talking about your season-long league, it gets a little bit closer. You get more security in the target share with Myers. But I'll take Sutton. He's going to be in an environment where his team is likely to pass more. He's getting air yards. He has a higher ceiling. Any interest in T. Higgins? Yeah, T. Higgins, I fucking love T. Higgins today. T. Higgins is $5,000 as a wide receiver one on the Bengals against a team that has no pass rush today in the Packers and no secondary players. Kevin King and Eric Stokes are the top cornerbacks for the Packers. If you know anything about Kevin King, he's likely not going to be in the league next year because nobody's going to sign that guy once the Packers drop him. I don't know why he's on the roster. Probably because they have no depth. In the Packers pass rush, no Zadarius Smith, he's been hurt for a while, and now no Preston Smith. Their top two pass rushes, Jair Alexander, maybe the best cornerback in the league, all out today. This is a very underrated game spot for Joe Burrow in the stacks. Joe Mixon is going to try to play. He's nowhere near 50%. I would expect Joe Mixon to touch the ball at most 10 to 12 times today and be inefficient on those touches. They're going to pass the ball. This is a Joe Burrow finally throws the ball 35 to 40 plus times. And that's really good for T. Higgins, the leading target share guy on this team when he actually plays. It's not Tyler Boyd. It's not Jamar Chase. The guy who sees the most targets when he plays, small sample now of a game and a half when he's healthy, is T. Higgins. And it makes sense. He wins not only down the field, but in the short range. He has the combination of both Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd in terms of where they win on the field and their skill sets together. Love T. Higgins and Adams. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Chad Pennington. I would say I would take Mark Sanchez over Chad Pennington, but if this is the debate, you know it's brutal. As long as it's not Sicilian. I am Sicilian. Yeah, I'm Sicilian. I got a little bit of Bidets in me as well. A little town in Italy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but mainly largely Sicilian. I think like 80% of my Italian is from Sicily, the boot. You traded Deontay for Mixon. I'll take Deontay for Mixon, like for the rest of the year. Yeah, go get Mixon. A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a very interesting candidate this week. A.J. Brown is tough for me for a couple of reasons. He is going to still pick up ownership. He has a massive ceiling on him, and like he's right next to Keenan Allen in price tag and all those Cowboys guys who are not going to be that, like those Cowboys guys and Allen might be 15%. A.J. Brown's going to be like 10% on today, so it's not that much of a difference. So we know the massive ceiling that A.J. Brown has in this matchup with a nice team total of 26.5, no Julio Jones. The problem for A.J. Brown for me is just getting to him over Amari, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, right? There's an argument to be made that, yeah, you should go down to A.J. Brown off of the Justin Jefferson's DJ Moore's because you get $1,200 and he has a similar ceiling to those guys. I don't know if he has a similar ceiling just based on the volume that he's seeing so far this year coming off of injury, but then it's just tough when you're comparing his price tag to the other guys in the 6K range. Does that mean you're fading Mixon today? Yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't be wanting to play Mixon. I mean, I think like 6%, and I'm very close to just full-on fading him, like actively fading him, like taking him out of my player pool, fading him. Yeah, I don't really see the upside in playing Joe Mixon today. He's nowhere near 100% healthy. They said he's going to try and play through these injuries. He's highly questionable today, and he sustained an injury that is a 2 to 3 week recovery. So he's going to be hurt. He's going to be playing injured today. I don't care what they shoot him up with. He's going to be playing injured today. I don't know how smart that is for them, right? Especially when they're running the ball so much with him, it's becoming so inefficient. It's clearly not good for their offense to run the ball 20 times with Joe Mixon behind that offensive line. It's clearly not. Joe Mixon running 20 times for 85 yards is not doing much for their offense at all. I mean, these teams play so slow pace because of Joe Mixon, right? Incomplete deep left to Elijah Moore. All right, let's get some Jamison Crowder love going. Trey Lance, good or another Fields? I'll take Trey Lance over Fields. Trey Lance is a very, very interesting case study today. I'm not really interested in large field contests, but in small field tournaments, and I'm not talking, some people think that a small field tournament is 5,000 people. What party have you ever been to that's small with 5,000 people? I know it's all relative to the Millie Maker being 200,000 people to enter. My God, pray for you if you're playing that thing with a high volume. But yeah, I mean, Trey Lance, if there's 1,000, 2,000 people in the contest, I don't want to play him. If there's 100, 200, 300, I kind of want to play him because I don't care as much about correlation in those contests. It doesn't mean that correlation doesn't matter, but if you're talking about running Trey Lance naked, which I think the best way to play Trey Lance today is actually naked. I haven't played a quarterback naked since Lamar Jackson's rookie year. What does that mean? You're not stacking him up. There's no George Kittle today. Brandon Ayuk, I have no trust in or faith in to actually play him with any high volume of my money. And Deebo Samuel, sure, he looks okay. He's surviving off of big broken plays. He'll see 8 targets today. I don't want to play Deebo Samuel when I can get DJ Moore, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, all in that price range, all who have way higher floors and way higher ceilings for me. So the right way to play Trey Lance today, in my opinion, is to play him naked, but I'm not playing anybody naked in a large field GPP. When there's 50,000 people, I'm not playing a naked quarterback with no correlation. It is really hard for that to pay off for you. But if there's 200 people, 300 people, Trey Lance starts to become definitely in play in some of those very small field single entry 3 max tournaments, or even like 7 max, 9 max if it's something like that. Can you go to the QB page, please? Says the DFS machine. Damn, we got a machine in the chat right now. You got that iRobot shit you're on? God damn. How many eyeballs you got, machine? You got 3 eyeballs, 2 eyeballs, 1 eyeball? What you got? You a robot? Are you playing Eckler today? Yeah, I got like 8%. Hey, Sal, if you only had $50 to play with, would you play bigger single entry or a smaller one? I'd play whatever single entry has the least overall people in it. So probably a bigger one. Probably the $50 single entry. If it just find the contest that has the smallest amount of people in it. That has 150 people in it. Something like that. Do you like Cobb or Ozoma today? Give me Cobb. I mean, Cobb's just going to be way more involved. They might run similar routes. Like Ozoma might run 24 routes and Cobb like 26, but he's going to be way more involved in the actual game script, especially with T. Higgins returning. Keep in mind, Ozoma's 2 touchdown game, which is not repeatable. Ozoma's 2 touchdown game. Oh, Michael Carter, 9-yard run. Jamison Crowder, 13-yard catch. We'd love to fucking see this. Keep going, Crowder. Get a touchdown here. Ozoma's 2 touchdowns came in a game where, first of all, weird as fuck game. Don't expect that again. But T. Higgins was out. So now Ozoma drops to being the 4th option in the passing game. At best, the 4th option in the passing game. Give me Cobb, who's going to be probably the 2nd option in the passing game for the Packers today. You think Curtis Samuel is in play? Curtis Samuel is most definitely in play. He's become a much worse play as the week's gone on. For some reason, Curtis Samuel, who practiced in full last Friday, now and got through the game, now he's limited practices. He's missing practices this week for a guy who's been banged up. I can't, incomplete pass to Crowder. I can't confidently say that I like Curtis Samuel as much as I did on Monday. He's $3,000. He's still the best cheap wide receiver. There's no doubt about it. He's dirt cheap, so it's easy to punt him. But I'm taking his teammate, Ricky Seals-Jones. If you can only choose one of Ricky Seals-Jones or Curtis Samuel, I'm going to choose the one who's cheaper in Ricky Seals-Jones, who's going to run probably more routes. He ran 31 routes last week to Samuel's 13. And he's a better red zone weapon, right? And how involved the tight end is in this offense, I don't care if it's Logan Thomas or Ricky Seals-Jones. The tight end kind of runs the offense, but middle of the field, they utilize their tight end in insane ways. That pumpkin is looking thick as fuck today. Yeah, I'm about to buy some more pumpkins. We're going to be doing some spooky season shit next weekend, so don't worry, they're coming. Udaman, sound no Udaman. Flex Pittman, Tony, or Ayuk today. I'll take Pittman. Wilson is so bad. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a rookie behind an offensive line that is not what it's supposed to be because Becton's not out there and Vera Tucker does not have a good start to the season. Moses Brown had a good year last year, a little bit older. So, yeah, I mean, probably had a peak year last year, Moses Brown on that line. You can't blame Wilson too much, but he does look a little bit erratic, of course. Arnold or Ricky Seals-Jones? Ricky Seals-Jones for me today. I mean, Ricky Seals-Jones is going to be much higher owned, but I'll go there. A few weeks back, you were very skeptical of Cobb. What's changed? The fact that MVS is on the IR. When Randall Cobb was the 4th wide receiver in the pecking order, running 4 routes per game, 5 routes per game, yeah, I don't want to play him. When MVS gets put on IR, and now Randall Cobb is going to run 20-plus routes per game, I want to play him. Now, luckily for us, he scored 2 touchdowns last week. If you were playing him in the 4 o'clock turbo slate window, based on my projections, that was luck. But it wasn't luck that he ran 25 routes. It wasn't luck that he actually saw targets last week because there's no MVS. The biggest thing that changed was the number 2 wide receiver on the team is now on IR. We got some super chats up in here. Fuller and Parker ruled out. Start Waddle or AB and PPR. Parker was ruled out? Did I miss that news? The answer for me is AB. Either way, even if Parker's in or out. Did Parker get ruled out? I thought it was... I didn't think Parker got ruled out. I might be wrong there. I thought Parker is a game time decision questionable. Just got here. Any word on Cook? Cook is going to be probably limited. I think he sees 10 to 12 touches at best if he even plays today. But if he does play, you obviously can't really fire up Madison with all that much confidence. Can we get a completion to fucking Jamison Crowder already? Jesus. We got a $2 super chat. Derrick Henry and Robbie Anderson or Najee Harris and DJ Moore? Derrick Henry or Najee Harris and DJ Moore for sure for me there. $5 super chat says, what do you think about Najee Harris and Damian Williams for cash single entry today? Let's make some dollar riskies. Yeah, that seems fine to me. You know that there's not going to be any... I mean, Damian Harris is a little bit sketchy for cash because you have no idea what Khalil Herbert's role is. And Khalil Herbert could come in and be the pass catching back today, the rookie in Chicago. So we don't really know what to expect there. Whereas we know what to expect with Najee Harris. Najee Harris is one of the safest cash game options because he continuously touches the ball close to 20 times a game. Now he's very inefficient and you're going to need the targets to continue, but you get no other competition for him so far. Damn, we getting some back-to-back incompletions to Jamison Crowder. Let's go. Deontay Parker, no, not playing. Just got info on Parker. He's out, Sal. All right, so we just got the info on Parker. All right, so I'll update that after the stream then. I need to put that in my list of things that Parker is out, and I need to update that. All right. So we'll update that after the stream. Obviously, it makes Waddle look a lot better. It's going to be interesting to see who they kind of fill in there. Preston Williams, if he gets activated. How are you feeling about Damian Williams? Damian Williams is more of a GPP play to me. The problem with Damian Williams is you have a cheap Leonard Fournette today. And Damian Williams is not going to pick up no ownership. Like, Fournette maybe comes in 18, 16% owned, and Williams is like 12% owned. So I'll choose Fournette all day there for the cheaper price tag and a much better offense. Like, how confident are we that Fournette is going to actually be in the red zone today a couple times compared to Damian Williams, who might not ever get there? And Damian Williams not scoring a touchdown today. You don't need the touchdown, but in a GPP to try and win a GPP, You kind of need the fucking touchdown from Damian Williams. So it's just tough to get there. And then you have James Robinson, only $400 more. James Robinson going up against a Tennessee defense that is bottom 6 right now in EPA in terms of their rushing EPA defense. Yeah. Mark Shannon says is worse than Tebow. Brutal. You playing Zeke today? Yeah, Zeke looks fine. It's just the price points are tough. Like in that price range, I prefer Saquon. I even prefer Najee Harris, which sounds gross, but Najee Harris has no Tony Pollard in his backfield. Season-long Dak or Brady today? I will take Brady. You still playing Curtis Samuel? Yeah, I only have about 5% Curtis Samuel. It's tough to get to Curtis Samuel with any type of confidence with the injury news, and now I don't want to be playing Curtis Samuel and Ricky Seals-Jones in the same fucking lineup. And now that I want to play a lot of Ricky Seals-Jones, there's not much upside for me to get to Curtis Samuel because Ricky Seals-Jones is now the punt play that I can play for cheaper than Curtis Samuel. You got any John Ross III? No. What's up, Sal? Finally got access to the exclusive Patreon Bennies. Let's get this money. Hey, my man, OG Paul. Coming up live up in the chat right now. Let's see. You all the way up in here? Looking for them Bennies? Best SuperDraft wide receivers today. Hey, the best SuperDraft wide receivers today on this year's slate. Let's see. Based on my projections right now in SuperDraft, Jacoby Myers looks really good at a 1.65x multiplier. Really good at his 1.6x multiplier. Can we get the running backs page, please? Yeah, running back page is pretty simple today. It's a lot of good plays. It depends on the price range that you're looking for. This is in no ranking order. My full projections, ranks, all that type of shit. Ownership is up on Patreon if you want to check it out. Darnold for DFS today. Yeah, look, the quarterback slate today is kind of gross. It's kind of like Tom Brady looks really good, and then it's just in terms of stacking it up for GPPs, like full-on game stacks. And then it's just, filter through Aaron Rodgers. I'm not playing any Daniel Jones, fully fading Daniel Jones. I'm not playing a 10 to 12% on Daniel Jones when his best pass-catching options are fucking Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay. I'm just not doing it. I think Daniel Jones looks good. He projects out good. The stack makes sense, but it's also going to be like the highest owned stack. So anytime Daniel Jones and the Giants are the highest owned fucking stack, I'm good to get away from that. Dak, Zeke, Cooper stack? Yeah, no thank you. I'm not stacking Zeke with Cooper. The only running back that I'm going to stack with a quarterback today is Austin Eckler with Justin Herbert. That's it. Favorite low-owned stacks? Yeah, there's some really solid low-owned stacks today. It's going to be Cincinnati and Minnesota. Like, for the most part, a lot of stacks will be low-owned because people still don't full-on game stack. But Minnesota and Cincinnati look like fantastic stacking situations today. And again, when I say these things, people's ears perk up like, that's the secret. I got to play them. No, they're not the best stacks on the slate. They're not. Like Minnesota and Cincinnati look like nice low-owned stacks. They will not have that much ownership on them. They also do not have that high of a hit rate as some of the other stacks on the slate, like we discussed in the Patreon exclusive podcast this morning, exactly where my highest ownership is on certain stacks. My man Dean donates $5 to the stream. He says, yo, what are the odds that Brady is so pissed about last week that he just goes off for 500 yards and Fournette does nothing? I don't think he's pissed about last week. I mean, he won a game. Tom Brady won the game last week in the rain, on the road, against a very tough defense. I don't think he's going to be pissed at all. You should be happy. He's much better weather now. A 10-point favorite. Goes up against another former coach of his. If Brady throws for 500 yards today, I could feel pretty confident in saying that Leonard Fournette has at least 70 receiving yards, if not more, on 5 or 6 receptions, which right there pays off Leonard Fournette not even having to touch the ball on the ground. But yeah, I mean, the running back position is the toughest position this week. This is the worst week out of running backs in a very long time that I could remember. The worst week, right? I mean, like you have obviously no McCaffrey, this weird role for Kamara, a very expensive Derrick Henry that I'd rather just play all the stud wide receivers that are a fucking $1,000 plus less, right? And then you have these guys that you don't really ever want to trust. Damian Williams, like especially if you're a cash game player today, Damian Williams, Leonard Fournette. These guys are grading out as good values, but do you fucking trust them? Do you trust that this is the week that Bruce Arians gives a running back 20 touches back-to-back weeks in Leonard Fournette, right? Do you trust that? Do you trust that Damian Williams is actually going to be featured? And even if he is in the Bears offense, does it fucking matter against the Raiders defense that has looked good so far? Top 10 against the rush in EPA? I don't know. Let's drink some coffee. Third fucking cup, and this one's all the way filled up to the top. How you doing? I feel like Bernard will eat Fournette's passing work. Yeah, that's all bullshit to me. I don't buy it. I mean, if anybody has watched all the film in the game script so far this year, Giovanni Bernard has only been used this year when they're trailing in games, like the one game against the Rams. I'm not expecting that today. And the only other time he's used is in the 2-minute drill. And Leonard Fournette actually started to take 2-minute drill snaps from him before his injury. So there's no real use for Giovanni Bernard today unless they get down big. Like Leonard Fournette is a much better pass protector. He's a much better runner on the ground. He's actually equally as skilled in the passing game. And Brady seems to actually have confidence in him, judging by no Ronald Jones these past couple of weeks. What's up, gangsta? What's up, Skull? Cobb or Pittman this week? Cobb or Pittman? Pittman. Big pimpin'. Let's get these dollar whiskeys today. Go Pack Go. Hey, Sean, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Let's go. Go Pack Go. Nice early game. It's a trap game for sure. 3-point spread scary for the Packers today. I could definitely smell an L, but we'll see. Is P. Ryan viable? I'm not going there. Love the energy, Sal. I appreciate you, Nathan. Good morning, Sal and the fellas. John Pepe, how you doing, boss man? Top 3 tight ends today. Yo, let's pull up the tight ends. Top 3, I'll just show you where my interests are at tight end. I mean, you're either playing Waller today or you're just punting tight end. George Kittle was going to be a smash play of all smash plays, and then he gets fucking ruled out. So your goal today should be to either punt Waller, completely punt, or punt or play Waller. So you either have the extra money and you're getting different by playing a single-digit owned Darren Waller on a slate with no Kelsey, on a slate with no Kittle. It's very rare that Darren Waller comes in 5% owned, but that's probably going to happen today. Sal, do you mind a double stack in a single entry of 400 people? A double stack Bengals? So, like, you want to play Joe Burrow. I mean, it's fine. It seems like doing a lot, but those are good receivers. Like, if you want to play Joe Burrow, Chase Higgins, running back with Devontae Adams in a 400-person single entry, I think that's fine. I don't think in that small of a field that you need the double stack as much, but it is fine. Any DraftKings sportsbooks props? Yeah, I've taken a bunch of props. They're all on Twitter. I've taken some from DraftKings. The ones that I post on Twitter are from Underdog or Prize Picks. We can talk through some of those. I actually just took a $500 prop before this London game. Under on Keelan Cole's fantasy points. That's hitting. Michael Carter, we got to get there. He's only at like fucking 2 points. Crowder, we got to get there. He's only at like 2.5 points. Pitts is already hitting the over. And Zach Wilson, we're going to need a fucking touchdown out of. But we have the whole second half of garbage time. So we shall see what they do against a soft shell, we hope. Higgins or Antonio Brown if I'm trading Deontay? I don't know what that means. Hey, Sal, what's your Saquon exposure today? I got, I think, 15% last time I looked. I have 14% Saquon Barkley today. Hey, Sal, are you playing any Deontay Johnson today? I think I have like 2%. Boyd or Antonio Brown today. I believe I have slightly more Antonio Brown. Barely more Antonio Brown by like 2%. I have 10% Brown to like 8% Boyd. What's up, brother? What's going on, Josh, man? How you doing, boss, man? We liking Higgins today? Yeah, I like Higgins a lot today. He's way too cheap for being a wide receiver 1 on an offense today that's facing a defense that has no pass rush or secondary today due to their injuries. Like, the Packers are decimated. This stuff goes underreported all the time. Like, obviously, you've seen the news because Adam Schefter's tweeting it about Jair Alexander maybe being done for the season. Definitely missing today, and definitely on the next couple weeks he's out, at least. Now, what you don't see as much is that the Packers have interior defensive linemen out. They have Preston Smith out. Zadarius Smith has been out. So their top 2 pass rushes the last 2 years are out. Their second best defensive lineman is out today, like in terms of just nose tackles. And then their top cornerback in Jair Alexander is out today. This is already a team that has been getting milked on defense. They have no defense. And now those guys are all out with these wide receivers coming to town. There is no legitimate way. They're going to play a zone a lot today, which is just zone busters all day long for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. There's no actual legitimate way that Kevin King D's up T. Higgins today for an entire game or Jamar Chase. And Eric Stokes looks decent as a rookie so far, but it's a small sample, and he doesn't look like a world beater by any means. This is a very good spot for these Cincinnati guys. As the entire chat right now probably goes and starts building Cincinnati stacks, just keep in mind that is a low hit percentage. I am much more inclined to pick pieces. Give me a T. Higgins there. The receivers, by the way, not really Zoma or the running backs. T. Higgins, give me one there. I got some money left over. Give me Tyler Boyd there. Jamar Chase. I'm much more inclined to do that than stack up the Bengals, but the Bengals are an underrated stack. Let's get this money. Let's do it. Trey Lance naked, 6K total entries. Yes, sir, and no, sir. 6K is way too many people for me to go no correlation. Look, Trey Lance can score 24 points today, and it can still be a bad play in a 6,000-person contest to run him naked because of correlation. You have to beat more people. The whole point is you have to do less. When you correlate your lineups, you're automatically having to do less to pass more people, right? Kirk Cousins goes for 28 points today, and obviously you combine him with Justin Jefferson. Jefferson's probably going for 20 plus, right? You have to do less. You have to get one thing right. All you have to get right is that the Vikings passing game is clicking today, and bang, you might have just got 3 or 4 things in your lineup correct. The correlation is so hard to overcome if you're not doing correlation. That's why I'm even timid to play Trey Lance naked in a 300-person contest, because it is so hard to overcome other lineups that are correlating together correctly. And somebody's going to correlate together correctly, right? So I'm expecting Dalvin to sit. Madison 100% if Dalvin sits. 100% Madison if Dalvin sits. What is his price point? Isn't it like 6,600? He'll look very, very good. I will definitely be going to Madison in my single entry lineups, or I will be trying to, depending on what I would have to give up to get to him. Madison's price point is currently 5,500. Yes, 100% Madison. If Dalvin Cook is ruled out today, you play 100% Madison against one of the worst run defenses, if not the worst, depending on the metrics you looked at, in Detroit as a 10-point favorite with the highest team total on the slate. I thought it was 6,600 like last week. If Dalvin Cook is ruled out today, you hit the lock button on Alexander Madison and you don't look back. You don't look back. And you still can play. You don't have, actually, If you play 100%, then you really can't play the Viking stacks because I don't want to stack Madison in those. So you play close to 100%. You play still like 10% Kirk Cousins stacks, and then you play like 80 to 90% Madison. It's as simple as that. He becomes a way better fucking play than Fournette, a way better fucking play than Damian Williams and James Robinson. So if we get news in the next 40 minutes or so that there's not going to be, or 30 minutes or so, that there's not going to be any Alvin Cook today, that'd be great. I mean, there shouldn't be. I don't know why they're going to play this guy. Cook is not sitting. I mean, even if Cook plays, you got to stay away based on the most reports we had. On Monday's first look, it looked great. And now the reports that we get that Dalvin Cook is barely even 50%. We have reports from Adam Schefter and the big wig journalists that are saying Dalvin Cook is not even 50% healthy today with this injury. Not even 50% healthy. In the middle of the season, I get it that they're trying to get some wins. They really need their wins early in the year. And they haven't even faced the Packers yet in this division for the most part, right? I get it. Alexander Madison is the same fucking thing as Dalvin Cook. I hate to break it to you. He does nothing to the Vegas total. Nothing to the Vegas total at all. He will not even budget a half a point. He's the same fucking thing as Alexander Madison. Keenan Allen or Brandon Cooks? Keenan Allen for cash. Is Kenneth Gainwell an option for today? Not for me. What are you eating for the game, Sal? I don't know. I might be going out to lunch. We're not sure yet with my girlfriend's family. Or like a later lunch. So I have no idea. In terms of eating during the games, probably nothing. Probably some water. Interest in Preston Williams today? Yeah, I'll have to update the projections and see. I could tell you right now it won't be massive interest, but he is a dirt cheap option, assuming that he is active. A dirt cheap option as a run back. Yes. I'm getting a FaceTime from the girlfriend. I need to tell her that I'm on stream. Hi on stream now. Thoughts on Josh Gordon tonight? No interest. I have a video out for tonight's game. You can check it out, the Sunday Night Football Showdown. No interest in Josh Gordon. Let other people play him at a 5 or 10% clip or 20% clip. I don't really care. The guy hasn't played football in a couple of years. There's no way you can convince me that Josh Gordon right now is going to be more valuable to that team than McCole Hardman this specific week, and maybe even Demarcus Robinson, guys that know the playbook, right? And have a chemistry with the quarterback. Higgins or McLaurin? Higgins. Chubb with an Allen bring back? Sure, if you want to. I'm not really interested. Do you like Dan Arnold still? Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting much. I'm getting like 2% Dan Arnold. Morning, Sal. Not considering ownership. Zeke/Barkley versus Henry/Fournette. Give me Zeke and Barkley. Aaron Jones or Jefferson? Jefferson. What you thinking of Daniel Jones under 20.5 rushing props? I love it. My number on the under Daniel Jones rushing props. Under that number, I would take the over. I have Daniel Jones in the mid-30s for rushing yards today. Favorite Giants wide receiver today? Probably Kenny Galladay. There's nothing wrong with Kadarius Toney and his price point. A $4,000 Kadarius Toney being 12% owned today. I can probably just go elsewhere, right? I can go elsewhere. Any Tennessee stacks for you? No. Which Arizona receiver on SuperDraft? Today? I mean, I'll take AJ Green for the higher multiplier. Who you running back with the Viking stacks? DeAndre Swift's the main guy. TJ Hawkinson some. That's about it. I mean, you can run back those receivers if you really want to. I don't have interest. Antonio Brown or Higgins? Give me Higgins. You like Waddle with Parker out? Yeah, I'm going to have to update my projections after the stream to see. That news broke apparently like while we were on stream, unless I just completely missed it. I didn't see it this morning when I was updating all projections. But yeah, I do like Waddle. I liked Waddle already, not like to a massive extent, but I do like Waddle a little bit more now. Let me see what we get out of Waddle with this update. Yeah, Waddle will look a little better. Like, here's the thing that people forget and usually just don't keep in mind as much. Like, Devontae Parker being out, it's going to increase the target share of Waddle maybe, but his average yards per target is not high, and it's more so going to help whoever gets more routes. Jalen Waddle is not running more routes today because Devontae Parker's out. It's probably Preston Williams. They don't have Jakeem Grant, so like this is going to be a very interesting wide receiver room today. I would say overall, this does not change much for me for anybody out there. It's going to slightly increase the target share for Mike Gesicki. He'll become probably the biggest benefit. So I think Gesicki becomes the biggest beneficiary out of this. You might see Waddle move to the outside more, which I actually don't like. So yeah, I'd say that Mike Gesicki, the biggest benefit of there being no Devontae Parker, and I will update that after the stream for the Patrons. Have you taken any player props? Yeah, I've taken, I want to say, including the London game this morning, like 20 props this week, I want to say. They're all on Twitter. Oh, I got breakfast sandwiches coming. Oh, boy. I got breakfast sandwiches coming, but I already ate. Aaron Jones or Jefferson? Jefferson. Do you like Deontay Johnson for cash? No, I definitely do not like Deontay Johnson for cash. Chase Claypool returning today, and just in general, the price point doesn't look as appealing with other guys. He's appropriately priced now. Is a Millie Maker considered cash or GPP? It's a GPP by far. I just got engaged, says Maine. Congrats. Hey, Sal, season long, Mixon or Daryl Williams? Daryl Williams or Mixon? I think you mean Damian Williams. Give me Damian Williams over Mixon. Do you mind a Murray single stack with Hopkins with no runbacks? I don't like the 49ers options at their price. Yeah, I think that's fine. The Happy Valley connection between Gesicki and Sal, somebody says. Yeah, I mean, Gesicki was an insane talent to watch at Happy Valley. Like the contested catches that man made live, I was absolutely shocked by. Hit the like button, people. I appreciate that. Running back page, please. Yes, since you said please, I will say thank you and hit you with these motherfucking schmacks. These motherfucking schmacks. Jones and Adams in the same lineup? I'm good without that, no. Adams or Jones? Adams. How much Marvin Jones do you have today? Not much at all. Marvin Jones, I have 2% Marvin Jones today. So not a lot. Not a lot. Trevor Lawrence stack with Trevor Lawrence stack. I got like 2%. Not really there. Jacoby Myers or Higgins? Higgins. Damian Williams or Chase, season long. Give me Damian Williams or Chase in season long. I'll take Damian Williams. What's up, Sal? For cash, would you rather have Barkley and DJ Moore or Derrick Henry and Tony? Barkley and DJ Moore for sure there. I mean, Barkley and Derrick Henry are very close for me. Like, Derrick Henry's going to project out for a couple more points, but if you factor in the receiving game, very close. DJ Moore is obviously miles ahead of what you're getting from Kadarius Toney. Now, that's a $1,600 difference. You're still spending a lot of more money there, so that's not really the 2v2 you're asking me about, though, because you're still like a $2,000 difference there, so something's off. Like, something's off. Do Patreon's projections finalize the day before or later today? They finalize later today. I update Patreon projections Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings, and then once we get news on Sunday. So when I get off this stream, I'll be updating the Patreon projections the final half hour or so. Najee Harris in play? Yeah, he's got to be in play. Do I like Najee Harris in terms of, like, do I feel secure in what he's getting? No, I feel way more secure in Saquon Barkley's touches than Najee Harris, both guys who have no competition, because Saquon Barkley is actually, one, he's way, not even close better of a football player. Najee Harris was a first-round running back this year. Saquon Barkley was his number 2 overall pick. Obviously, you can say that was a bad mistake. Saquon Barkley is not even close. He is way fucking better than Najee Harris. So that's one thing talent-wise. But number 2, Najee Harris's targets are going 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. Where if you saw last week, Saquon Barkley was being targeted fucking 30 yards downfield, and then he breaks touchdowns. You're almost to 1K viewers. Big fucking whoop. Be a big fucking whoop. Who gives a shit? How y'all doing today? Godwin or Samuel today? Give me Godwin. Swift or Lamb on the flex? Do you like either? Swift or Lamb on the flex? Do I like either? Yeah, I like both. I would take Lamb, but it really depends on who your lineup is. Curtis Samuel is still a good play, even over Seals Jones. I prefer Seals Jones. I don't want to play Seals Jones and Samuel in the same lineup. Can you play them in a Millie Maker lineup together? Sure. I don't really like that, but sure. I'm not playing in my lineup, my single entry lineup that's going to have $3,000 in play today. There's no fucking way I'm playing Curtis Samuel and Ricky Seals Jones in the same lineup. Because if Curtis Samuel scores 10 points and Ricky Seals Jones scores 10 points, you're doing a dance party for each of those guys individually. But combined, they're scoring 20 points in your lineup. You're not fucking winning a GPP, which is the goal, and you're not finishing highly in a GPP, which is the goal. Nice to see the hairline is back to normal. Yeah, so there's a barber here that I really like. He was the main guy who was giving me my haircuts, and then he just disappeared from the Booksy app. And then I went to another barber who was fine for like a month, and then he fucked up my hairline to extents that I've never seen before, like literally in my entire life. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's awful. And then I look on Booksy, and out of nowhere, this barber comes back. He's like the fucking saving grace. And I got double charged. We talked about it on Thursday. I got double charged by accident. I didn't even know about it. Marvin Jones or Damian Williams? Damian Williams. Do you need as much correlation in a 20-man field, or is that more of a cash build? 20-man field is way more cash. No. You can get away with no correlation in a 20-man field. Now, if you're playing like Tom Brady, would I want a Bucks pass catcher? Yeah, probably, because Tom Brady has no mobile upside. But, yeah, 20-man field, basically play it as cash. If you can understand how good, like if you're playing with a bunch of friends and you think they all suck at DFS, basically just fucking play it as cash. If you think you're playing with like 19 other really hardcore DFS people or good players, well then yeah, maybe get some correlation at quarterback and a pass catcher stack. That's about it. You playing Amari with the injury concerns? I have no concern. Amari's been injured for 2.5 weeks right now, and he played fine last week, right? I would like him 100% healthy, but I'm fine. I'm not really factoring in the injury too much. What the fuck is cash? Facts. Do you have any Trevor Lawrence stacks? Barely. They're nothing of importance to me, Trevor Lawrence stacks. Would John Ross be a sneaky GPP play over Tony today? I guess sneaky. He scored a touchdown last week. I don't know how sneaky he is. This coffee's fucking warm as a mother. Fournette or Jacoby Myers? Fournette. How much is your Patreon? The prices, Camilo, the prices vary. It depends on how much you want to get. It depends on how little you want to get. There's like 4 different, there's a bunch of different packages. There's a link to it though. You can check it out. It's all described what you get. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Is this game still at halftime, this fucking London game? They kicked a field goal. Oh, how'd they get down the field? I didn't even see that final drive. Mike Davis, 10-yard catch. We like to see that. Mike Davis, a couple of yardages here and there. Hey, we like to see that. Kyle Pitts, another catch. We like to see that. Aiden, a $5 super chat. Let me know how your mornings are. Let me know, what are you doing today? Where are you tuning in from? Come on, let me know. We need to have a little bit of a chemistry building here. It can't just be me talking to my camera. I mean, that's what it is no matter what. But I know you're asking me the questions. That's why you're fucking here. I'm going to answer the questions. But hey, let's have a little bit of a personality show here. How y'all doing? Where are you tuning in from, huh? Aiden, $5 super chat. I appreciate you, boss man. He says, stack Burrow with 2 of which 3 wide receivers in the Bengals? I mean, I'm choosing Higgins and Chase for the big play. Yeah, I mean, Higgins is not even, he's a big play player for sure, downfield monster, but Higgins is an insane wide receiver. Higgins is one of the most underrated wide receivers because they took Jamar Chase so early. Higgins is a better wide receiver than Jamar Chase. Maybe not in 3 years, but right now he is a better wide receiver than Jamar Chase, right? He wins in all levels of the field, not just deep like Jamar Chase's speed wins for him, right? But yeah, give me Jamar Chase and Higgins. I just want the upside. If I'm trying to win a GPP, can Tyler Boyd have 8 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown in this game? Sure. But can Jamar Chase get there on 5 targets way more often, and you don't have to get right as much? You don't have to get right with the target share? Yeah. Have you considered being an auctioneer? Yeah, I was back when I was 7 years old. I was an auctioneer. That's actually where I made all my fortune. I was on a TV show, Young, Proud and Loud auctioneer show when I was 7 years old, and it paid pretty well for a 7-year-old. I'm in Oakland, California. We love to hear it. Super chat. Somebody said, yeah, super chat is you basically, there's a little $sign on YouTube. I never ask for super chats, but people, if they want a super chat, if they appreciate the stream and want to donate, or they just want their question to be 100% answered and that I see it because there's so many. Yeah. Where can I get that shirt, John Grant? I ain't telling nobody where to get this shirt. I got the shirt out of my closet, so you better not come over here and try and touch it. If you like a barber, get their cell because they can fall off the face of the earth. I have this guy's cell phone number. The problem is with the barbers that I like, it's not really a problem, but there's a language barrier for sure. Like a lot of the barbers that I go to, they're like Dominicans and they're amazing. They cut incredible hair, the Dominican people. But there's a massive language barrier. Like even just texting him like what time I want to have an appointment, it's like he just sends me like a link to like the app. Like, it's a massive language barrier. Winston has a pick. I have no interest in Winston. We doing good, baby. How you doing? We doing good. Boston, Chicago, Port Clinton. Hey, we got the people all over the place. Sal, have you talked about Chuba Hubbard? I have no interest in Chuba Hubbard. Did you see what he did last week? He was not the pass catching back. They used fucking Rodney Smith, and Royce Freeman is still lurking back there. Chuba Hubbard is going to get you 12 carries for 40 to 50 yards on the ground and be dust. Ross Dwelly, if you have the extra salary, or Ricky Seals-Jones. But if you have the extra salary, I'll go Cam Brate. Why does Allen Robinson suck? I overpaid for him. He doesn't suck. Allen Robinson does not suck. No. If you think this is an Allen Robinson problem and not a Bears offensive line problem, you are mistaken. He does not suck by any means. How are we looking for Hopkins? He looks injured. I'm a little concerned. Chicago pizza is better than New York. Yeah, I mean, I said no one ever. I mean, if you just like eating a lot of dough, then sure. Can we see your yeses and maybes? Yeah, what position? Tuning in from Alabama, where we barely get DFS. No prize picks, no SuperDraft. Terrible. I mean, look, man. Alabama apparently pays, like, it's like one of the highest financial advisor places. I learned that in my econ class. But you got to get the fuck out of Alabama. I mean, the only reason you're in Alabama is to beat fucking Texas A&M on the roads and enjoy your Saturday nights, and you can't even do that these days. So you got to get the fuck out of there, man. Tough loss for your Lions last night. Clifford stays in and they pull it out. Yeah, I mean, if Clifford stays in, I think they beat Wisconsin or Iowa by 20. If anybody watched the Iowa game and has watched them play this year and thinks that Iowa is a good football team, should they be a ranked team? Sure. But a top 5, a top 10, a top 15, maybe even a top 20 team, no fucking chance. Their defense is loaded with NFL talent. Yes, their offense is... It might not even crack the top 50 in college football, right? They have a running back who is college football average and a quarterback who is the bottom of the barrel and no receivers, like legit, right? So that Iowa team, they played a high school quarterback. That's what Penn State had to put in there for 2.5 quarters. They played a high school quarterback and barely won the fucking game. Sad day for Sean Clifford. Laz comes in with a $10 super chat. I appreciate you, Laz. Boss man, how you doing? Favorite prize picks, over-unders? Yeah, all my over-unders on prize picks are on Patreon, but we can take a community prop definitely on stream. I took a $500 prop for the London game. We got to get a big second half out of these fucking Jets. That's for damn sure. But there's a lot. Cole Beasley and Travis Kelce's over receptions for tonight. I like that a lot. If you want to tail any of these or take any props that you like, use the code SAL. It's very, very simple. Use the code SAL in prize picks. You get a free, risk-free $100 bet. Risk-free $100 bet. It is that simple. But I have a bunch of props in play. I love Justin Jefferson's overs. I like Aaron Jones over 16 fantasy points. I like his touchdown prop over a half. Justin Jefferson's over 82.5. If this number was fucking 92.5, I'd take it. Justin Jefferson is going to absolutely feast. You might be looking at a 200-yard day at a fucking Justin Jefferson. Bold prediction alert. Damian Williams and Sam Darnold's over their yardage. Williams is the receiving yardage, by the way. So I got a lot of props in play here, clearly, right? James Robinson over rushing yards. I like that. Michael Carter over receiving yards at 7.5. We're still fucking sweating that one out. But I don't know how much, and I think I got a good amount in props today in play. I also took some underdog props. We can talk about those. We'll take a community prop as the stream goes on. It's Laz Gets Fit. Can you talk flex strategy? Yeah, so I'm not playing any tight ends in the flex. It's wide receivers for the flex for me today. Obviously, I'm playing, so single entry, it's a wide receiver. 3 max, it's probably wide receivers. GPPs 150 maxes, I'm sure running backs will get in there, of course, but wide receiver flex is the way to go today. This has been, in like 2 or 3 years, the weirdest week for running backs. Everybody wants to play fucking Leonard Fournette or Damian Williams, right? Damian Harris is even getting like 6-7% ownership right now. Like, this is the grossest week for running backs. You have a $9,000 non-pass catching, but people want to say he's a pass catching running back now, Derrick Henry, because he caught like 3 passes, he caught 5 balls in a game that went to overtime when they were trailing by so much. Yip-de-fucking-do, right? So Derrick Henry's $9,000. Kamara has no role. Christian McCaffrey's out. And then we get this nice range of a bunch of guys like Saquon and Zeke, but Zeke's banged up. Like, this is the worst. Joe Mixon is nicely priced, but probably not going to play his full role. Same thing for Dalvin Cook, which eliminates Madison if Cook plays because we don't know what to do. Worst week for running backs. And not much upside on these running backs, in my opinion. You got to hit wide receiver this week. Do you see the top of the wide receiver board? Devontae Adams is $1,000 underpriced. Derrick Henry being $800 more than Devontae Adams is a mistake. Derrick Henry being $1,500 more than guys like Justin Jefferson and DJ Moore is unbelievable. This is the week to go wide receivers in the flex if you're single entry building, for fucking sure. Swift over 15 fantasy points on Prize Picks. I'm at like 15.7. It's a no bet for me. Staten Island here. Hit him with some Joe and Pat's Pizza Schmack. Hey, yeah, I'm born and raised in Staten Island, actually. Well, technically, I think I was born in like Brooklyn for like 2 weeks before we moved into our house. Everybody in college sucks this year. Yeah, I mean, there might not be a more fraudulent team than like Oklahoma. Like, Notre Dame is a massive fraudulent team, but they've actually at least lost some of their games. Oklahoma looks as fraudulent. Iowa, like these teams, there's no good teams. You're right. Sal, come on, man. How are you saying Kamara has no role? He had 26 carries last week. Uncertain role for Kamara due to his just targets. And if you think Kamara, who had a career high 26 or carries last week, if you think that's just a new expectation for him, you're sadly mistaken. I mean, Kamara's expectations are 16 carries. When a player has a career game, you do not set the new baseline at his career game. Kamara's role is 16 attempts right now, 15 attempts, and 2 or 3 targets in this offense. That is terrible. That is not Alvin Kamara that we're used to. We're used to Alvin Kamara, 14 attempts and 8 to 9 targets, right? Much confidence in Chubb today at low. I mean, he's going to be like 6 or 7% owned. It's really hard to have a stance against Chubb at like 3% ownership. Do I like him compared to other guys in his price range? No, I don't. Do I hate him? No, he's fucking low owned. Best Bucks pass catcher today. When you factor in everything, like none of them really picking up massive ownership, there's ceilings and all that. If you're playing Tom Brady in a GPP today, the first buck I would put in the lineup with him is Antonio Brown for sure. Let's get this bread, boy. Let's get it. PSU alum. Hopefully Clifford gets better. PSU alum is here as well. Defense wins championships. Iowa City born and bred. Yes, our O is always weaker. Defense does not win championships, by the way. This is not the 1950s, just by the way. I don't know. It's just not the case, right? We're just not in the 1950s anymore these days. We're not high-flying by any means, but to say we aren't a top-ranked team is just being bitter. No. Look. I'm as neutral as it gets. You can see my tweets yesterday. I'm as neutral as it gets when it comes to Penn State. Like, I'll get excited about individual players. Like, I want to see that Jahan Dotson make a lot of money and all that, right? I want it to be a first-round pick instead of a second-round pick. Ensure that he gets paid more money, right? All that stuff. But when it comes down to how they actually played, you had 2 defenses yesterday, to me, between Penn State and Iowa, that look basically the same. So, like, Iowa, best defense in the country. Penn State, if not right there, right? I've seen 5 other defenses yesterday that looked a lot like Iowa's because they got 5 NFL players in their defense. So does most top 10 teams, right? Iowa's offense is putrid. Like, Iowa's offense is not a top 25 team offense. And that will get exposed when you play. I mean, it was going to get exposed yesterday. I would have guessed. I mean, I guess Penn State wins that game 31-17, 31-14 if Clifford doesn't get hurt. Because Clifford moving right up and down that elite offense. Right up and down that elite offense, Clifford, right? Guy has like 3 fucking drives outside of his interception, right up and down that defense. I would say that Iowa probably finishes the year as like the number. I mean, obviously their side of the Big Ten is straight buns, so they'll get to the Big Ten championship. But I would say that they realistically finish this year as like a number 15 team, somewhere in there. Here comes Crowder. Is Crowder getting some work? You ain't lying to me, are you? Barrios' 6-yard catch. We don't want that shit. Why you be lying to me? We get Michael Carter, though. He's got 15 yards. We'll take that. Sal, would you go... Sal, your most owned QB today. Yeah, you can get into the Patreon Closing Thoughts podcast to see the most owned where my ownerships lie. But these are the guys that I'm interested in right now. Sal, would you get both RB spots to load up on wide receiver? Would you go value at both RB spots? What is considered value? Like Leonard Fournette's a value, sure. What's like your next value? What do you consider a value there? I want to load up on wide receivers, but I'm not trying to play like Damian Harris and Leonard Fournette. Ohio State has the best offense and is not close. I would say that Ohio State, another team that has a lot of flaws. Like Penn State versus Ohio State, even on the road, I still have a lot of confidence in Penn State, which I'm not usually saying that about. I would say that Michigan is a team that looks a little fraudulent too. Can we see some of your lineups? Yeah, no. I don't sell lineups. I have literally... Look, first of all, I don't sell lineups. For anybody that ever like comments, here's my whole lineup. What do you think? What do you mean, what do I think? I'm just going to say it looks good. I'm not going to like sit here and be like, you should build this lineup. You're putting your fucking money in. There's a 0% chance I ever show a single person in the world lineups that I'm about to enter an hour before the game start. If I'm playing $4,000 in DFS today and I'm going to show people my main lineups, do you know what that does to my edge? It makes it 0. If I showed you my lineups right now, I would completely change those lineups because everybody would play those lineups. If one person plays the lineup that I'm playing in my contest, that lineup now becomes a piece of shit lineup, right? Ty Johnson, 1-yard run up the middle. Helps absolutely fucking nobody. Oh, wow. We had Tevin Coleman at a 65-yard return. Is that? Oh, no. Kicked at 65 yards. Just I got Buffalo meat in the smoker for tonight. Let's go, Chiefs. Hey. Akeem Hicks is out for the Bears. The last time Jacobs played against Chicago with Hicks in the lineup, he went for 143 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that stuff doesn't matter to me. Can he have a good game? Can Josh Jacobs have a good game today? Surely could. Is the reason he has a good game because Akeem Hicks is not playing and last time he did good when that happened? No. Arkansas ever being ranked number 8 proves it's watered down college football season. Yeah. I mean, the same thing with like Auburn being a top 15 team. I mean, Bo Nix and that Auburn team is a brutal team, but they're top 15 because they play in the SEC. Didn't you like Fournette earlier in the week? I like Fournette a lot. I don't think I've said anything bad about Fournette yet. The only thing I said about Fournette is, do you actually feel confident that Leonard Fournette is going to touch the ball 20-plus times again today in Bruce Arians' offense where no running backs ever get the ball? No, I don't. Fournette looks good. He's 5,200. He's going to be fine on paper. Show us your best dance move, Sal. It involves no clothing, so no thank you. Trying to cobble together an all-white guy lineup. Yeah, we ain't about the supremacist shit up in here, so you can fuck right off. Sal is here to get us thinking for ourselves. Yeah, it's getting you thinking for yourself. What are you guys watching? My buddy Sal said he's throwing you guys off. I don't know what that means at all. Why are you guys watching? My buddy Sal said he's throwing you guys off. First of all, the word buddy, it might be the worst word in the English dictionary. Second of all, I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. Thank you, Sal. I'm going to win some money today. We'd love to hear it. Trying to get weird here. Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff as QB? Jared Goff, if you had to choose one. Is the podcast up now? The podcast for Patreon went up this morning. Yeah, it went up about 3 hours ago. T. Higgins or Allen Robinson? Give me T. Higgins. Favorite running back under $5,500 today. Trying to pay up for wide receivers. Leonard Fournette. Auburn in the SEC West. Yes, they're in the SEC. Jones or Adams today? Adams. Uzoma? I got like 4%. Wide receiver page. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. I want to check in on what the SuperDraft is in a second, actually, after this, though. I'm not your buddy, pal. Yeah, I'm not your buddy. You can fuck right off. For sure. I started punching Buddy Sayers 7 years ago. Yeah. Anybody who walks around, unless you're like a 50-year-old man talking to a 4-year-old kid, you cannot call a grown man buddy. You just can't. You can't. I mean, there's like certain guys who can get away from it, like these dads who are like very like uppity, not uppity, like cool, like good. I didn't even mean uppity like that. I meant like dads who are very like cheery and like that dude's just a good dude. And he calls you buddy and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm your buddy. Nothing worse than the word bud though. Jeez. What's some SuperDraft plays? I was liking Heineke as a QB, but I don't know who to run at wide receiver. You don't have to stack in SuperDraft, by the way. I mean, you just don't. The multipliers make it so you don't have to stack, so I wouldn't worry about that. Heineke at the quarterback position for SuperDraft today looks fine. I prefer Trey Lance, but Heineke looks fine. Justin Fields looks good over there too. Sal, for season-long Mixon or Daryl Williams for the Chiefs? Not Daryl Williams. No. SuperDraft strategy, ever stack or correlate? You don't really need to stack or correlate. Like, if it just happens to work, sure, but no, you don't need to with that. What's worse, Bud or Pal? Bud, by far. Pal is fine. Like, I don't like Pal, but Pal, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, Pal, where'd that guy get that one? When it's Bud, it's like, you really think you're talking down to me right now, guy? Hey? Dalvin Cook out? If the news broke, the news broke. Do we have the news yet? We are an hour and 40 minutes. We should have the news in 10 minutes. I'll be ready to update if Alvin Cook's out, and I'll be ready to update to get like 90% Alexander Madison. Hockey players and Bostonians are allowed to say, yeah, the only guy allowed to say buddy is Bill fucking Burr. How's Mooney looking for projected points? I got him for like 10 projected points. It's not going to look good. He clearly has a ceiling higher than 10 projected points, though. But his projections are never going to look that good in that offense. Thoughts on A.J. Brown today? I want to play A.J. Brown. I do. Like, there's no Julio. They're playing Jacksonville. There's not a fucking body out there to guard A.J. Brown. But it's tough. Like, I want to pay all the way up for wide receivers. And when I'm not doing that, A.J. Brown's right around CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen. Like, goddamn. James Robinson across different positions. So, I really like A.J. Brown. I want to play him today. It's just really tough to find a spot where it makes sense to. So, I'll give us some tight ends to play. Yeah, I mean, the tight ends are you just play Waller or you punt. Tight end is very simple. This is the simplest week of tight end. There's no Kelsey. Kittle's ruled out. If you have the extra money and you want to get different, you can play Waller. Otherwise, just punt. Punt with a $3,000 or $2,000 player. Let's predict where Bama drops to. I got lowest at 5. I would guess that Bama, they lost to an unranked team. That team was ranked a couple weeks ago. They're on the road in a tough environment. They played them close. I would say, but it was still a backup quarterback that they lost to, right? I would say that Bama should drop past like 6 and 7. Like, that's just where they should drop to, but they won't. Yeah, they won't. Is Cook out? We'll know in 10 minutes with the inactives and actives. If he does play, he'll be very, very limited. Single entry. Cousins, Jefferson, Madison, yes or no? Sorry if I missed your answer. I'm not stacking Madison with Cousins, no. You prefer Lamb or Cooper today? Whoever comes in lower owned. Which right now for me, like, they're literally the same fucking play. I have them both for 17 fantasy points. They're at the same exact price point. And they're like the same exact. There is no difference between CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper today. I have Amari Cooper for 17.2 points. I have CeeDee Lamb for 17 points. They're both 62 and 6,100. I have Lamb at 15% ownership and Cooper at 13%. They are the exact same value, the exact same ownership, the exact same price, the exact same projection, all this shit. They are the same fucking play today. So take your coin out and flip it. I have literally no way to distinguish between CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper today. You can say that CeeDee Lamb is more due, but he's not coming in with lower ownership, so that due means nothing to me. You can say that CeeDee Lamb is healthier than Amari Cooper. Okay, so make that be your difference. But between CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper today, there is legitimately no fucking difference. I have Amari for 0.2 more points at $100 less, and that should not be the difference as to why you choose him. Just flip a coin. Literally. I don't have an answer for you. Like, I'm not playing either of them in my single entry lineups, so I don't have to make that decision. In 150s, I'm sure I'll get some of one and some of the other. Let's see what I get in my 150 max lineups. In 150s, I'm getting more CeeDee Lamb if that helps you by about 5%. What do you think about Elijah Moore today, Sal? I think he'll get 12 carries, 14 carries on the ground. Trey Sermon will get 6 to 8. Trey Lance will run the ball 10 times. So, 12 carries for 50 yards. I don't know, right? Deontay Johnson or Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen for me. Backup QBs aren't always bad. Look at Oklahoma. Yeah, that guy balled the fuck out, right? Balled the fuck out. Who do I run back on Detroit, Swift or Hawkinson? I'll take Swift. Kendrick Bourne protection around 7 points. Bears would just offered Rager for Robinson and a pick. Is that true? Albert Wilson season with no Parker. Yeah, Albert Wilson I already had. I'm like double-digit ownership on Albert Wilson now. It doesn't feel great at all, but it's just runbacks. It's just cheap runbacks of that Tampa Bay stacks. You just got to get something, and he's cheap as fuck. Necessary to run it back with Cousins Jefferson stack, single entry. You don't have to if you don't want to. It really depends on the field size. If you're playing in like a 200 or 300 person field, you don't have to run it back. If you're playing in like a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 20,000 person field, yeah, I want to maximize correlation and run back those stacks. Lamb or Godwin? Give me Godwin. Any love for Cooks in a GPP? Yeah, I've got a good amount of Cooks today. Is Lance going to be the field in his first start? Fail. I don't know how Trey Lance would ever be Justin Fields in his first start. There can be these narratives that Kyle Shanahan is not a good head coach now because he's lost some Super Bowls and he's lost the past couple of games in bad ways. There's no doubt in my mind that Kyle Shanahan is a fantastic offensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan made Nick Mullins a top 10 efficient quarterback the year that he had to play all those games. Kyle Shanahan will do just fine with Trey Lance, who scored over 20 fantasy points and a half last week. Trey Lance does not have Matt Nagy. Trey Lance does not have the brutal offensive line of the Bears. I don't know if Trey Lance or Justin Fields is better. None of us know. You can have your opinions on that. We don't know. The situation for Trey Lance, way fucking better. Way better. Kyler versus Hurts solo. Kyler. Would you still do a Kirk, Cousins, and Jefferson stack even with Madison? No, I wouldn't stack all three of them up. Swift has been underperforming on the ground going back to last season. Yeah, if anybody's playing DeAndre Swift hoping for a 100 rushing yard game, you're clearly not in tune with how DeAndre Swift scores his fantasy points. You play DeAndre Swift because he's averaging like 7 fucking targets per game, right? And when he catches 5 of those for 50 yards, it doesn't matter what he does on the ground too much. Schultz, what you think about him? I have 0% Dalton Schultz. I'm not playing a 10% on tight end just because he's scored a couple touchdowns the last 2 weeks. At some point, I expect CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper to actually get back involved in this offense, and that's exactly when you see Dalton Schultz go back to scoring 5 fantasy points. Would you trust Dalvin Cook today? I don't trust Dalvin Cook at all. I have 0%. I hope Dalvin Cook plays just so it murkies the waters on Alexander Madison, and I can play more of these Minnesota stacks. But if he doesn't play, then it's just a full-on play as much as you can of Alexander Madison at 5,500. Best play in the slate at that point. Do you like Dan Arnold in GPPs? Yes. Trey Lance also played at North Dakota State. Go Bison, baby. Hey, yeah, he's played like 8 games in his fucking career at like a terrible college. A lot can go wrong there. He does not look good so far, but again, he's a rookie who's played no starts, no full games. Mike Williams or Robinson? Any Daryl Williams, Damian Williams exposure? Yeah, I got about 12%. Jones or Lance in cash? I'll take Trey Lance in cash over Daniel Jones. Joe Burrow at QB? Yeah, Joe Burrow is going to be a nice underrated. I got about 6-7% Joe Burrow stacks. He looks nice. He looks decent. Is fading Henry for A.J. Brown a good play where with Henry shits the bed as chalk? Yeah, I think A.J. Brown's a good leverage off of Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown's going to be half as owned, if not less, than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's about to be 30% owned in a lot of contests today. 30% owned in a lot of contests. He's the highest priced player in the slate, and he's going to be the highest owned because somebody put up a graphic that he averages 100 yards per game against the Jaguars. I don't give a shit. Derrick Henry can go for 120 yards on the ground today and a touchdown and have 21 fantasy points and be $9,000 and 30% owned, and he's not even that good of a play. You need Derrick Henry at $9,000 and 30% possible ownership to smash the slate. Can he do it? Yeah. Am I as confident that he does it 30% of the time like the field is stating? No. The Derrick Henry week 2 game of 40 plus fantasy points, I'm just going to bet against that happening today. Derrick Henry can have a really good game today. 120 yards and a touchdown, right? 21 fantasy points. And you're not losing any ground and field in competition, right? And if Derrick Henry, God forbid Derrick Henry rushes for 88 yards and a touchdown today, decent game in real life, 15 fantasy points, you're dead. You're dead in the water in your lineups because he's $9,000 fucking dollars at 30% owned. If this was Derrick Henry, $9,000, 10% owned, I'd like it. I have Derrick Henry. I have 20% Derrick Henry today. It's hard not to get Derrick Henry today with so much value at tight end, right? And not a lot of options in terms of paying up a quarterback or running back. So, yeah, I think Derrick Henry's a fine play. Single entries, I'm not playing him today. Yeah, no. Allen Robinson or Sutton? I'm leaning towards Allen Robinson. Thanks, Al. I'll go Sutton if this is GPPs. If this is season long, I'll go Allen Robinson. Terrible college. North Dakota State University, the people there are probably beautiful people. If we're talking legitimate prospects coming from North Dakota College and you hit me with Easton Stick, Billy Turner, and Carson Wentz as your biggest options, yes, that is a case in point. That is a case in point. Carson Wentz, I'll give you that one for like 1 year. Easton Stick, we ain't giving you that shit. Billy Turner, a decent year for the Packers. Outside of that, you're naming an offensive lineman who's not even top 50 in the NFL. Yeah, man, A.J. Brown and Aaron Jones about to win me a GPP. Yeah, both. I mean, A.J. Brown will be owned, so he's not going to be like an insane leverage. He'll be leverage off of his teammate, Derrick Henry. Any of the pass catchers will there. But yeah, Aaron Jones looks really good as a leverage play. Kadarius Toney at 4K seems too easy of a value versus Dallas. Curtis Samuel at 3K if he plays is another. Yeah, there's no way I'm playing Kadarius Toney and Curtis Samuel in the same lineups. You don't need that much value this week, especially with the position the way tight end is, unless you're trying to play Waller. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, Kadarius Toney looks fine. Curtis Samuel looks fine. I think they're fine. I think that Kadarius Toney at 12% ownership is a mistake. The second that a $4,000 wide receiver is picking up chalk because he caught like 6-7 balls last week, I think that's a mistake. In a tougher matchup, is he a terrible play? No, he's not a terrible play. Do I want my chalky players to be the ones that are not secure in terms of their fantasy production? No, I don't. The cheap chalk value wide receivers barely pay off for you unless they're $3,000 flat. Then it really doesn't harm you. Darren Fells viable if Hawk is out. Yeah. If Hawk is out, sure. We're gonna get inactives in about 2 minutes. Is it all right to fade DJ Moore? Yeah, it's fine to fade him. I'd feel terrified to get 0% of him if you're playing a lot of lineups, but if you're playing one lineup, yeah, you don't have to play DJ Moore. Can you throw up the value projections? The value projections are on Patreon. You can get those projections on my Patreon in terms of my values. If you're asking about the stuff that I have on screen, like this shit, these aren't like values. These are just the guys that I like. But there's no actual like these are not in any ranking order. I'll pull up quarterback for us. But my values, projections, ranks, ownership, all that stuff is on Patreon. Sal's shirt. You on the Madison at all today? Leverage play and higher scorings. I'm only playing Madison if Dalvin Cook's ruled out. Otherwise, I do think Dalvin Cook will play and get like 10 touches, which does limit Madison's upside. And I'll be much more on the Minnesota stacks. Should we drop all Jets players? Yeah, this Jets team is just, I mean, God, right? They are not in a good way, God. Like, oh, God, somebody please get every single person in UK screen to the Sunday night football game and not this Sunday morning game. And just give them some sort of hope that this could be, things can get better. Michael Carter, 14-yard reception. We hit the over. Michael Carter, 7.5 receiving yards. Let's fucking go. Another player prop cash is live on stream. Winning dollar whiskeys like it's nothing at fucking 10:30 in the morning Central Time. The over 7.5 Michael Carter's prop hits on a 14-yard catch and run that I didn't even get to watch live. I just see the fucking play-by-play. We are fully alive. We are fully fucking alive. Upset of the week, Texans over the Patriots. Book it. Oh my God. Yeah, my survivor pick this week is, hopefully people in my survivor league aren't watching this, but my survivor pick this fucking week is going to be none other than the Minnesota Vikings. When else are you going to get the Minnesota Vikings as 10-point fucking favorites with the highest team total on the slate? When else? I'll tell you when else. Never another time this year, outside of maybe when they play the Lions again, you will get, and even then they won't be home, so you will not get a better situation for the Minnesota Vikings than this week all season long. This is the week to play them in Survivor. This will probably get clipped later and they'll fucking lose. This is the week to play them. You will never use the Vikings again this year until this week. Use them. Sal, do you like Eli Mitchell? Eli Mitchell today? Yeah, not really. No. Love you, Sal. Have a great Sunday, my brother, and let's win some money. Chef's kiss all day. Chef's kiss. Hey. How's Texas, Sal? I'm thinking of moving soon. Shitty weather always got my mood fucked up. Yeah, man. Seasonal depression's a real thing. Texas is great. I have no complaints. Obviously, I would like to have more in-person friends in Texas. That's not welcoming all you strangers out there. You might be great people, but I'm not meeting up with no strangers on the internet just to meet up with them, right? But, yeah, obviously, I would like to have more in-person friends, but anytime you move to a new area, that takes time. Intramural sports, all that shit. But my girlfriend's family's here. Her brother is basically my age, so we're cool. Meet people through them like last night. And just Texas is great. I mean, the weather is fantastic. Austin, Texas is beautiful. So many lakes around here. So many nice, they're not mountain hikes, but like just trails. Your view on Texas, at least where I'm at in Austin right now, is nowhere near. Like your view of it's just a desert land. It's just 150 degrees every day. It's hot, but it's not a desert land. Like there's a lot of really nice just nature here. I thought it was just going to be a fucking desert, and it's not. Dalvin Cook out, 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 Dalvin Cook out. Dalvin Cook is inactive today versus the Lions. We are going to have to update that on Patreon. No doubt about it. That's an obvious one. You play Alexander Madison, you just don't even think about it. I mean, look, if you're playing a Kirk Cousins stack today, don't play Madison in that stack. If you're not playing a Kirk Cousins stacks today, you play Alexander Madison, you move on, you set the different position in your lineup, and you go from there. Alexander Madison is a great play. I don't give a fuck what the end result is. The highest team total on the slate against the number 32 run defense as a 10-point favorite and is a good pass catching running back and is a good running back in general for a team that's projected to score over four touchdowns today. You play Alexander Madison today, and you do not look fucking back, right? The only way you're not playing Madison today is if you're stacking in a GBP. Madison is the best cash play on the slate. Every single position, best cash play in the slate, ahead of Trey Lance. Every single position. He's the best overall play on the slate. With an hour until the game start, an hour and a half, Alexander Madison will not be able to pick up the 40 to 30% ownership that he should be today. On a slate where I just told you running back is the worst it has ever been, go get Alexander Madison. Take all of his props right now if you possibly can. For anybody who is a Patreon member, all the projections will be updated before lock. Do not worry. Let's try and get some props on Alexander Madison if we can get them in time. With big news like that, they might have already taken them off the books. But let's just see. They have already taken Alexander Madison's single stats off the books. You hate to see that. Yeah, they've already taken them down. Let's see if Underdog is taking them down. Yeah, they've already taken all his fucking props down. God damn it, they're quick. Literally not even a minute in Underdog. I mean, that's their whole fucking business model. Like, if DraftKings, the Alexander Madison props, or maybe even like PointsBet, some smaller books, they're probably Fox Bet, they're probably still up there. But when Prize Picks and, I mean, they might not even had the props out to begin with because of the murkiness. But yeah. Can you play Alexander Madison and Jefferson? You sure can. This is good for me. My only chalk is Madison. I'm laughing to the bank, says Vic. Oh, damn, he's laughing to the fucking bank today. Somebody says, do you have to pee badly? No. Why? I do not have to pee badly. Texas is beautiful, man. So many in the cut spots, man. So many in the cut spots, waterfalls where you wouldn't imagine. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, waterfalls come out of nowhere. Can I play Madison and Jefferson? Yes. Cook is inactive. Correct. Also, Mother is great. You are correct. So, yeah, I agree. You ever make your way up to Dallas? Just for a half marathon I ran in June, but other than that, no, we won that shit too. Let's get it. Usually you do this by the, I have to fucking piss my pants actually right now. Alrighty, gang. I'm going to update the Alexander Madison news. I'm going to update the Devontae Parker news. We'll see what happens on Sutton and Mixon and Geo. We probably got that news already. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Before you go, hit the like and subscribe button. I have drank already one of these during the stream and half a fucking coffee. I'm going to piss my fucking pants. So they took the props down last night. Get in on Prize Picks. You get a free bet up to $100. Rooskies risk-free bet up to $100. Use the code SAL on Prize Picks. We showed a bunch of them earlier. Right now, SuperDraft is filling like an hour and a half before lock. Let's see what they end up filling at. Not even close. What the fuck is wrong with this? I mean, obviously, as the season goes on, less people care because they either lose money or they're not as invested in season long, which usually means not as invested in DFS because they're just not as invested in football. But we're at $5,800 or 5,800 entries. SuperDraft is an hour and a half until lock, and it's only filling at 40%. Yeah, so I mean, if you want the best chance at winning 50K, 10K, 5K, 15K, you'll beat 30% of the field just by entering a lineup. Use the code SAL. The best quarterback play is Trey Sermon. The best running back play is Alexander Madison or Trey Lance. And the best wide receiver play is Jacoby Myers. So there's like half your fucking lineup. You get $20 if you use the code SAL. Sutton or Goblin at flex? Goblin. No community prop. Yeah, we can take a community prop. I mean, I'm not just going to force a community prop. I might take one that I've already taken elsewhere. So T. Higgins over 55.5 receiving yards. We'll take a community prop of 2, right? So we'll go one way and one like 2 total props. So I want the T. Higgins over, and then I want to go to fantasy points, and I want the Aaron Jones over 16. So let's put 100 on this. This will be the community prop. I like T. Higgins everywhere this week, everywhere. The props market, DFS, his fucking outfits, his beautiful face, whatever the fuck you want to call it. $100 on Aaron Jones over 16 fantasy points and T. Higgins over 55.5 receiving yards. We get a little correlation from that game environment, right? We hope that one happens so the other happens. All right, so you use the code SAL. You can tail that. You get $100. Look, it's a risk-free bet. I'm like fucking going to piss my pants here. I wish I had a little bag of catheter attached to me right now. Hey, Sal, are you okay running Madison and Jefferson in the same lineup? Yes. Jared Cook or Conklin Cook? Mixon is active. All right, yeah, he's active. He don't got to pee. He's just out of it. Brady historically has his worst games against Miami. Yeah, he just has them against his former coaches. Like, they keep him a little bit intact. CH or Madison. You're starting Madison everywhere. Madison is a top 5 running back play this week. I don't care where you're looking at it. Madison is, if you're talking about your season-long leagues, it's like Derrick Henry and then fucking Alexander Madison this week. That's it. That's it. Right there. There you go. Alrighty, gang. We're bouncing. I'm going to update everything on Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, I don't know, smack yourself in the face. What's wrong with you if you're not a Patreon member? When you win the dollar rooskies today, when Alexander Madison gets you 5 fantasy points and you lose all your dollar rooskies, but you wake up from your nightmare and he's balling out at high ownership, who cares? But the rest of your lineup is low owned because you know how to fucking play, because either you watch my videos or you just know how to leverage it. DFS comes down to this. When they tell you how'd you win the dollar rooskies, you say this is how I did it. You want to hear the actual way how I did it? DFS comes down to this. Your point projections versus your ownership projections. What is the leverage? Where are the leverage plays? Where can you get leverage on the field? We have that on Patreon. Sal Vetri, check him out. You're telling these people in the fucking supermarket this. And then they're like, I have no idea what you just said, mister. Can you explain it to me in English? You say, yeah, I know football. In football knows me. Hey, best of luck today, everybody. Piss a bucket under the desk. What do you think I am, a fucking animal? Holy shit. Peace out. Thinks I'm a fucking animal. Are you fucking kidding me? Piss under my desk? Jesus Christ, people. You nasty. You nasty.